Today was quite a chill work day for me. After patrolling a few rounds around my area, it was time to end my shift. On the way home, I saw a family of 4 walking into a convenience store. Everyone was so happy and laughing, making me feel jealous of them. I also used to have such a happy family. I'm Mia, currently working as a police officer. Please like and subscribe to listen to my story. My family has 4 people. I had a dad, a mom, and 1 older sister who was very pretty and intelligent. But from a young age, I realized that my parents always treated us 2 sisters differently. They favored me in everything and often ignored Lisa. In addition to studying, she had to do housework to help mom, while I was spoiled. The older we got, the more obvious the discrimination became. I was 7 years old that year, and my mother bought me a gorgeous doll. But Lisa suddenly came into the house from outside the door. She has been cleaning the garden for mom since a while ago. Have you finished weeding and cleaning, Lisa?
I haven't, but
But what? Spit it out.
I also want a doll like Mia.
No! You've grown! You can't make demands like that!
Mia already has a lot, but still gets to buy more. And I don't have a single doll yet.
Mia is your younger sister. Why are you so jealous of her? Hurry up and finish your work. You can come and eat some fruit afterward.
Fine, I got it.
Lisa sadly returned to continue her work, and my mother peeled fruit for me. At that time, I didn't understand what was going on, so I just listened to my mother and hugged the doll back to my room to play. A moment later, I heard voices of my mother and Lisa coming from the kitchen.
Mom, I want to eat fruit. Is there any left for me?
Another time, Lisa. It's almost lunchtime. Lisa walked into my room with tears in her eyes. She sat beside me, looked irritated, and snatched the doll away, making me cry loudly. Lisa, are you bullying Mia again? Hearing her mother yelling outside, Lisa threw the doll in my face and returned to her room. All I could hear was the sound of the door closing loudly and my mother shouting, "Lisa, what's that attitude? Come out!" When it was time for lunch, she still refused to go out. Mom didn't want to call either. After returning from work that night, my father pulled Lisa out of the room and loudly yelled at her. I was so scared that I just dared to peek from afar and faintly heard Lisa sobbing. Gradually, Lisa became a more stubborn person. The unfair treatment of our parents greatly affected her mind. With all the pressure and anger, Lisa vented her anger on me and her classmates. It made me terrified of her. Another time, my mother received a phone call from her school. I sat and listened to the entire conversation. It turned out that Lisa got summoned to the principal's office because of fighting with a classmate. The teacher also called her parents and forced them to come and resolve the matter. I followed my mother to school. When we arrived, we saw that the family of the friend that Lisa beat was there. Lisa was very stubborn. She refused to admit that she had beaten that boy. She said she was only defending herself. My mother had to bow her head to apologize to solve the problem with the other family. Upon arriving home, Mom threw Lisa's school bag to the ground and yelled at her again. Lisa silently stood and listened without saying anything. Her face showed no remorse. She quickly returned to her room, not forgetting to close the door loudly as if to express her dissatisfaction. Gradually, Lisa no longer valued studying, but instead started fighting all the time, forcing her parents to go to school to apologize every day. The relationship between my sister and I also became more tense. We might not talk to each other, but we would argue every time we opened our mouths. In those cases, my parents always defended me and scolded my sister. In my parents' eyes, I have always been a good child, with good academic records, participating in many competitions, winning many awards, and becoming the pride of my parents. Lisa was the complete opposite. Her academic performance was getting worse. She often had conflicts with her friends and even hung out with bad friends who skipped school and caused trouble. That year, I was 15 and Lisa was 18 years old. One day, the school sent Lisa's study results home. The average score was only D. Some subjects even got Fs. As Lisa walked in from the door, her mother loudly questioned her. "Lisa, where did you go? Why do you come back so late? Mom, I just returned from school. You lied to me again. Today is your day off. Here are your study results. I just called your friend to ask. I go to the study group to prepare for the graduation exam. Okay, let's say you're telling the truth. So how do you explain your grades? All D's? Even F subjects? Do you know you will fail to graduate with scores like that? I know, Mom. I'm sorry. Look at Mia. She just won first place in the math competition. Her score is always A. Why can't you be like Mia? I am so disappointed in you.
Your mother is right. You should stop being a child. Try to study and find yourself a useful job.
Lisa silently went straight into the room. The loud sound of the door closing made my father lose his temper. That night, Dad scolded her again for a long time. 2 months later, Lisa took her graduation exam. The results were just enough to pass. At the same time, my family encountered a grave incident. My father was bedridden due to a traffic accident. The reason was that he drank alcohol and drove and caused an accident. My mother and her small bakery always have to operate at maximum capacity. Everything seemed to exhaust my mother's strength. After holding out for 3 months, my father passed away. My mother was also constantly sick, and the family's finances deteriorated. After my father's funeral, my mother hesitated for a while before telling Lisa the truth. I stood in a corner and overheard that conversation. Lisa, Mommy has something to tell you. Okay. Actually, you're not our biological child. So you finally tell the truth. I already guessed it. The older I get, the more my appearance differs from you and Dad. And I never felt like I was considered a member of this family. So this is why my parents always treated me differently from Lisa. I'm sorry, Lisa. At that time, me and your father got married, and we liked children. But after several years, I still wasn't pregnant. So I went to the hospital to get checked out. Unexpectedly, the doctor said my chance of having a child was almost 0. You were only 1-year-old then. You were abandoned and raised in an orphanage. We treated you like our own child. But after over a year, I discovered I was pregnant. It's like a miracle that Mia has appeared. Our feelings are devoted to Mia. Your personality is stubborn. You will become a bad kid if we don't discipline you strictly. I truly have no right to ask for your love. As an abandoned child, getting a roof over my head like this is already a blessing. Don't say that, Lisa. Mom and Dad had a difficult time to the point of wanting to give up custody of you. But the thought of you being taken into an orphanage is something we can't accept. So we tried to raise both of you as best as we could. Sometime later, Lisa moved out and applied for jobs everywhere. She got a job at a convenience store not far from my house. She seemed to decide to leave this family after that night. I still lived with my mother. At 15, my only job was to eat and study. When Lisa moved out, our mother devoted all her love and affection to me in the hope that I would become her supporter in the future. In a flash, 3 years have passed. Thanks to my excellent academic performance, I passed my graduation exam and received an admission letter from the prestigious Stanford University. But I didn't know that my mother had to fight against a terrible cancer for the past 3 years. The day I received my admission notice was also the day my mother passed away. During the funeral, I cried a lot. Now my only relative was Lisa. I've been waiting for her to return. Finally, I saw her. She was dressed in black and came to our mother's grave, her face still cold, showing no signs of sadness. She stayed there for a while, then immediately left, no bothering to look at me even once. As a child who has always been loved and pampered by my parents, I've never known what it means to work and make money. My immature social skills couldn't help me live independently. The little money my mother had saved was not enough for me to go to college. After that shock, I completely collapsed. No longer had the mind to study and just let myself indulge in all-night fun with my friends. There was a time when I almost got involved in addiction. 2 more years passed quickly, and I was no longer studying at Stanford. The pressure of life and money made me no longer interested in acquiring knowledge, and so I was forced to drop out of school. Things didn't stop there. The bank also confiscated my family's memorial house due to not paying the previous debt that my parents left behind. I had nothing left anymore. I couldn't even realize how happy I used to be. I became homeless. Every day, I and the people I considered my confidants went around town wreaking havoc, luring teenagers to commit theft and live recklessly in the city. On one such occasion, our group was discovered and chased by the police. Surprisingly, one of them was my sister, Lisa. I quickly ran to the empty street, weaving through familiar corners that me and my friends gathered every day in an attempt to escape. Unexpectedly, Lisa was much faster than me. After a while of chasing, she stood tall before me.
Mia, is that you? Mia?
Lisa, please, don't arrest me. I don't want to go to jail. Please.
Mia, how did you turn out like this?
I've been alone since my mother passed away. I can't take care of myself financially to continue studying. Gradually, the pressure of life made me waste away and burn all the money my mother left behind. The bank also confiscated our house.
So, that's what happened. I also came home to visit recently but couldn't see you anywhere. When did you quit school?
It's been over half a year, sister. I thought I didn't have any relatives left in this world.
During that time, I was in training and couldn't come. Oh, well, if you're still here, my teammates will discover you. So run!
Lisa gave me a piece of paper with her address and phone number. That evening, when I came to visit, she opened the door to greet me with a hug. Come in, Mia. Don't be shy. Have you been here long? I just moved here for a job 2 months ago. Let's talk about you. You can't just wander like that forever. You need to find a job. Like working at a convenience store like I used to do, for example. But it's embarrassing, and I don't know what to do.
So, what do you want to do? Do you want to continue stealing like now? Next time I catch you, I won't hold back anymore.
Lisa, what should I do now? That night, we confided a lot to each other. Lisa advised me to go to work and rent a house, and then she and I would save money together to buy back our old house. The following morning, Lisa gave me some money and instructions before going to work. You take this money to buy some clothes to wear, then wait at home for me. I will find some simple jobs for you to choose from. But I was no good kid. Holding that money, I immediately thought of drinking and having fun with old friends. I went to them again. Most of them got captured. Only 3 remained. This amount of money was enough for everyone to drown themselves in alcohol. That night, I did not return to Lisa's house, but stayed with my friends. I was still afraid. Afraid to lower myself. Afraid to work. Of many things, that discouraged me. I didn't want to listen to Lisa anymore. I'd rather continue living my life as before than have to change. But that might be the worst decision of my life. Nearly a month later, our group lured a few more teenagers to continue committing petty thefts on the streets. Once again, the police discovered and arrested us, and Lisa was still among them. She raced after me again, but I learned from experience and ran more cleverly, and my 2 friends ran with me. Lisa followed closely, but it was dark, making it difficult to see. When she entered the alley, 2 of my friends were waiting for her, suddenly holding her tightly. The 2 of them were very angry because they had been chased by the police too many times. They took this opportunity to vent all their anger on my sister. They punched and kicked her and stole her gun. Lisa tried to resist but didn't have any strength, so she just held her head and endured the hits. I panicked and rushed to stop my friends, but by then, the 2 of them were like crazy people. After a struggle, they pushed me out. When they raised their guns and wanted to shoot her, I couldn't think of anything else and rushed over. I wanted to help her. After all, she was my only remaining family. Everything was my fault, and I couldn't let her get hurt because of me anymore. Unexpectedly, Lisa always turned her eyes toward me despite being beaten painfully. She seemed to guess my intention, so she jumped up and rushed to stop me. Lisa pushed me away, and a sharp sound rang out in the small alley. The other 2 immediately threw the gun back on the side of the road and ran away. The bullet hit a fatal spot, causing Lisa to lose a lot of blood and fall into critical condition. I quickly went to help Lisa up. She trembled and stroked my cheek.
Mia, you have to change. Maybe I can't help you anymore. You have to promise me, no matter what happens, you have to become a good person. Never get involved in crime again. If you don't live well, our parents, will scold me again.
I didn't know what to say. I just nodded and silently promised myself to listen to Lisa. The injury was so severe that Lisa could not survive. At her funeral, her teammates came in large numbers. Everyone felt sorry for Lisa. I became her only legal heir. While I was gone, she sold the house she was living in and used all her money and connections to get my family's old house back. Afterward, thanks to my sincere declaration and cooperation with the police to investigate and break up that theft ring, I was given a suspended sentence. I felt like I was reborn. I had a completely new life, a life that Lisa had exchanged for me with her life. I was determined to become a useful person who wouldn't disappoint Lisa. She had placed all her trust in me, and I couldn't let her down. After several years of trying to practice and study, I became a policewoman like Lisa. I always remember her advice before she passed away. Every time I saw her photo in the small room where she used to live, I always felt sad and sympathized with her pitiful fate. Every time I participated in arrests of juveniles rioting and stealing on the streets, I felt like Lisa was next to me, that I was experiencing the feelings she once had. It made me cry again. I mourned for Lisa, her fate, and that terrible mistake I made to lose my last relative. I promised myself I would live well and live for Lisa too. Lisa, somewhere far away, are you and our parents watching my every step? I'm sure I won't let anyone down again. I promise.